Hello friends, so this is a continuous series of setting up Cucumber into your machine. So we just had another video for part 1. Part 1 installs the Cucumber, and we had the Maven setup as well. So in the continuous series we just rebooted the machine, and as we come back, so this file that we created was in the text format. It brings the different color, which is a Cucumber feature. If I open this up, I will see this whole feature as a template. So if you see the tags here, tags represent that the test that is going to be executed based on the tags. And these are the gherkin format. There are a couple things that you need to monitor here. Is a feature. Feature is nothing but the description of what this the purpose of this file is. These are the comment section, you can remove them. And then there are a couple things. One is a scenario and one is a scenario outline. So scenario means that you are basically giving everything as a whole here within the data. Scenario outline means it is expecting the examples as inputs for these features. And if you see any of these things which are in angle bracket, that means that represents here. And again, this is a case sensitive, so you have to put same format. So you don't need angle bracket, but angle bracket basically represents these values, and which means it's a variable. And each one of these lines represents one part of the execution. So which means when you run this tag2 test, it is going to run name1 with the same steps, and then it will run again with the name2 with the same steps. So which means if you want to run multiple tests with a different set of data, this is going to be really helpful. And here, if you want if you don't have any examples or any extra more execution, then you may want to stick to scenarios. Okay, that's all. And then if you want to run entire file as a whole, you would put a tag here. And before that, I'm going to just clear this out whole thing and make a clean file. And we are going to go through how you would define your tags and get the configurations first. Okay. So for that, I'm going to just go inside here. I have a new package. I'm going to create a class here. The class would be Cucumber setup. Cucumber setup. And here I'm just going to define for this demo purpose, I'm just going to write some basic stuff here. So which should be just like the JUnit stuff, which is read before. And here you have to give what annotations you want your test to run with. So I'm going to just write my test, all small letter. So that means before this test starts, it is going to look for this tag, and then it will execute this piece. So I'm going to write the method here. This should be just a setup, and then I'm just going to write a printout message. And then I need after method also, same thing. Also need the same annotation here. For this, I'm just going to say after test, something like that. And then here I'm just going to print this out here, same message here. So okay, and then I will just go here and hover over here, and if you see here, I saw Cucumber API Java. That's what I want. Same thing for the after. So Cucumber API Java. Okay, that's all I want for before and after setup. We're gonna get this further leveraged when we go into the browser testing. I'm just going to show you how the Cucumber works for now. I'll be creating another file which is going to be running test. I need to enter the configurations, so let's do that. New class. So I'm going to name this as run my tests. Run my tests. Okay. So this is just a run setup. So there's going to be empty class. So there's nothing here. So for here, I'm going to put some annotations so that it will do that configurations. Run with is the annotations. So it will be with the Cucumber. I want to run my test with the Cucumber. So that's the Cucumber. And next annotation I want is I need to add some of the options. So which is the Cucumber dot Cucumber options. And here inside the options I can enter more things here. So which would be features first. I need to tell which feature, where is my features at. So in my condition my feature is here, so I need to give that path for this feature. So it would be source. Okay, and then I will need to add more params. I have tags that I need to define. At red, my condition, I have all tags as my test. Okay, and then I need one more thing here. Plugin, I need a pretty so I can get better reports. And pretty much that's all I have for this class. So I need to go here, import my run with, and then Cucumber options also I need to import. Import Cucumber options API. So here this is all set here. Let's just format this. Let's get some of the spaces out. Okay. So this is an empty class again. That's all for this class. So what we did, we created one setup. Setup is going to just run the before and after, and then I have run my test. This is what the test is going to be. And I have how I want to run my test. I just enter my Cucumber options there, and then I have the empty class on this. So we're halfway down now. Now I want to go back to this feature file. So feature file, I'm going to start with feature. I'm going to name this as my very basic Cucumber test something. And here I can give I'm going to give some scenario outline. I have to put a column here, column. This cannot be like this. This has to be right next to it. So here I can put any names, any text. Okay, so this would be title. What do I say? Basic testing of my Cucumber, and I can just put that. And then if I want to add some more variables, I can put that here. I can just say definition or something. So I'll just put this much here. So that is just the title of the test that's going to be. So now I'm going to give the Gherkin format. So which should you start with? I can put a space here, by the way. So given is the first thing that we'll start with. So given my let's say that's my step. I'm going to give some more step here, how it goes. So after given, it is a when. It's just a standard, it doesn't have to be, but you need to have more given, when, and then. And lastly, this is a then. You can add as many as ends you want, and again, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So here I need to get these things here done, and the next thing after that I'm going to put some examples, because this is a scenario outline, right? So this is scenario outline and it is looking for some variables here. So I'm going to put some examples, and this is called a Gherkin table, so I have to put that in that format. So in my condition, variable is definition, and that's the table header. So my instead of definition, I'll say my first test. I can also do that, and then I will, instead of definition, I'll just do test case ID. I will just write AFDS 8090 something, right? That may be my test case ID. And if you notice now here, I created this pretty much the setup, and if you notice this all became yellow because this became yellow as soon as I saved. The problem this is telling me these steps are not defined. So given, you don't need to worry, but it is also space sensitive and case sensitive. So you have to basically copy whole thing and create a step files for this. So for step file, I need to just define something inside the test. So I'll just write a new class here. I'll just write steps definition, and then I finish that out. So I don't need anything here, it's just the methods. So this would be collectively getting all of those methods for these features. So my first feature is going to be like this. So I have to put this in the column. Okay. But there are a couple things you need to follow. There's a path that it requires. Then there's, it doesn't have to be what annotation you give there. Just have to be, you can use then or and. That's the best thing you can use, or you can even use given. So now that is what your step is looking for. Every time your cucumber, every steps, it is looking for what you are writing here. So this is what it's looking in. Basically it is looking for this whole thing. Okay, it doesn't care what you put here or what is this, but this is all it is looking for. It is a space sensitive, case sensitive. Okay, so be careful. Let me write that step now, public void. So this method name can be anything. I'll just write test1. Okay, I'm just going to print the message here. Okay, so that basically covers the first row. I'm going to write the other test. What that name is, I start my first test. I start my second test, third test. Okay, I'll just write that. I'll just double that up. Then then I conclude to need all this. I'll just remove these eyes. Okay, then I am concluding my test. So here let me go there, and then I'll just put everything into then, and I have a dollar sign there, and I have this guy here. Okay, so I put some message here, and that would be just write ending date something. I remove these eyes there, so I don't need that. Same thing here, and I believe we're almost there, and we just need second and third test. So I need a second and third test. So this is first test, second test, then this is third test, so I need to import this all thens, and then you see that thens are then imported from Cucumber library. So that's what we had in that Maven POM file, and then everything looks good here. So let me get this everything saved, and let me close and reopen. Sometimes it does not refresh, so I'm reopening that, and everything just gone. Okay, so pretty much we defined this as steps, and we have everything done, but we have one more thing that we need to do. So now I need to run this test. So to run, I'm going to right click onto the project label, and there's a run as, and I need to do configuration, not the run as JUnit, but the configuration. So when I come here, I need to go, first thing is I need to select, make sure it's a JUnit 4 is selected. I go here from this JUnit, I double click, I make sure JUnit 4 is selected, and then I go here, I have to click this run single test. Okay, run single test, and I click search, then it will look for my test. So run my test, and then that's all for that part. And then I go to the argument. Here I'll need to write my Cucumber options. So D is Maven commands, so these are basically Maven run commands. Equals, I need to some glue here. Glue is where your step definitions are, so it would be class path. So that would be, you're just defining the package level remission, and then you do just double hyphens tags. So basically these tags are the ones that your test is running with. What tag you want to give, you would define here, and then pretty much that should be it. And then let's just do apply, and I'm going to just run this test. So give me a second. It looks like it did not find my tag with my test, and if I go to JUnit, it does not run. So let's see, and I figure why that is. So I have to give my tag here, because without giving that tag it does not run. Okay, let's run that again. Let's save this, and I'm going to run its configurations, and I make sure everything is good. JUnit 4, I'm in that, and then I have this test ready here, and that is that there. And I go to argument, and I see Cucumber options is there, and it is giving glue where that step definitions are, and then it is looking for that tag. So let's run that out. Okay, so looks like a test completed, and it is saying it did pass. And let's see that, and let's go to JUnit. What it does, and when you go to JUnit, it is giving all the definitions. So if you see each one of this, it is same as this. So but the good thing is that you can read them, what steps you have written. If that anything gets failed at here, you will see that it failed. So which is basically clear, like a visibility on, you know, anybody who wants to review the test, and it is just good for that purpose. So that's pretty much the setup complete for Cucumber. So that will help how the Cucumber should be set up, and you can get, you know, your Cucumber scripts ready and writing them. As we move further, we'll write more Cucumber script, but then setup is just completed now, so it will help, you know, moving forward. And all you need to, if there's anything you missed, then please watch my other video, part 1, Cucumber setup, and then that will explain you all the steps that is needed prior to this, and then you follow to this one, part 2 video. Thank you very much. I hope this has been very clear and helpful, and I hope you continue to watch my video and subscribe my channel, and we'll look further with more videos. Thank you very much.